Hello and welcome to Malt. I'm Andy and this is Whisky Review number 13. What we have for you here today is a Speyside whisky from legendary Speyside distillers Glenlivet. Now what this is the 16-year-old Glenlivet Nadurra. Yes. Now the Nadurra in Gaelic means natural, and the idea behind this bottling series is that Glenlivet are giving you a bit of an insight into a more natural presentation of their spirit. So this sits slightly outside of their usual range of the 12, 15, 18 and 21. However, it is on general release. As far as I'm aware, it's still on general release. And it's actually very popular because people like the fact that, you know, it's a more natural presentation of a whisky distillery spirit. So, without further ado, I'll get some of this in the glass. Now, as I mentioned, it's 16 years old. It's matured in ex-bourbon casks, and this particular batch, because it's a batch release, it isn't a single cask release, is batch 0313W, which I'm sure you'll be very familiar with. Now, it's bottled at 54.8%. This one was bottled a few years ago, in 2013 actually, but I actually found it on the back of a shelf at Tesco in Bury, near where I live, which is always good. Just tucked away in there on the back, so I'll have that. Retails between 35 to 40 quid, or it used to at least, and you know, for a cask strength 16-year-old whisky, for that sort of money, from a distillery such as this, it's very, very good value for money, which is another reason why it's proved to be so popular. Now, I did mention it's a natural presentation, it's non-chill filtered, big tick. Unfortunately, as far as I'm aware, it does have E150 added, I think, which is a shame really, because if they'd have ticked the other box, then, you know, would have been winning chicken dinner, wouldn't it? But still, considering the size of this distillery, which is pumping out 10.5 million litres of spirit a year, that's huge. It's an absolutely massive distillery. In fact, it's only just slightly smaller than Glenfiddich. Glenlivet was, and in fact I think it might still be, the most popular single malt brand in the US, which is one of the reasons why it's become such a huge name. Now, I'm going to give it a bit of a go on the nose and palate first without water, but then I'm going to do it again with a little bit of water added, because when you add water to a whisky, especially one of this strength, it changes it completely. It really does help it open up quite a lot. So, well, firstly, colour, it's a nice colour to it, but I think, as I say, I'm pretty sure it's got E150 added, which is a shame. Some nice legs on the side of the glass, indicating it's a nice thick consistency. The nose, it is quite spirity. However, I think that a lot of that heat does stem from the ex-bourbon cask maturation. There are still some really nice notes in there. Plenty of vanilla, a lot of ginger. There's actually a bit of fruitiness in there as well, but thinking like a red berry fruit. Not so much a strawberry, which I suppose technically isn't actually a berry because it's got the seeds on the outside. Fun fact of the day. But think more sort of like cranberry, maybe a bit of a sweet blackberry or something like that. Custard, strong vanilla custard, like bird's custard powder maybe. Bit of banana as well. Okay, on the palate. good consistency. Okay, at full strength, chili, nice chili heat, ginger again, but think of like a brandy snap as well, like the brandy snap nest things. Lots of vanilla again. Very warming. The finish is very long. Still a bit of fruitiness in there as well, maybe pears. There is a touch of oak in there, but not too much. And the finish is long, it's warming. I think you've got like a bit of like a biscuit base New York cheesecake kind of thing going on, because you've got strong vanilla and you've also got like a digestive biscuit in there as well. It's good, it's good. I mean, there are some official tasting notes on the back of, the back of the box, so those. Okay, fair enough. I won't read them to you. That's not the aim of the game, is it? Now I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of this in there. So 2 teaspoons of water, maybe, 2.5 teaspoons. Just roll it around. 1 sec. That beeping was the washing machine. And I'm back. Sorry about that. It's one of the disadvantages of recording videos in the Whisky dungeon, which is located in the basement, which unfortunately is also where the washing machine is located, on the other side of the door. Right, on the plus side, I've given it a few seconds to open up, and already there really is even more bourbon-esque notes on the nose. So you've even got more vanilla, a lot of sort of rich rye spiciness. Really crisp green Granny Smith apples. More pears. Just really, we've sort of moved on from the red fruits now. We're done with red fruits. We've moved on to orchard fruits. Okay, maybe a bit of blackcurrant though, like a Ribena note in there as well, which is unusual for a bourbon cask. I don't normally get sort of notes like that, which you normally associate with maybe like a hogshead or a sherry cask maturation, but still a bit of ginger in there as well, which is good. It's actually become a lot more floral. So I think a lot of wildflowers, it's summer, it is a very floral, summery dram, to be honest with you. I think this wouldn't be out of place on the balcony on a sunny day, or on the deck with a barbecue, you know. Maybe even with an ice cube. You know, don't condone it, just each to their own. If that's how you drink it, that's how you enjoy it, then that's how you should do. Quite herbal, sort of like linking into that sort of floral, you know, you've got like a bit of thyme or basil in there. And still, you know, I'm still getting quite a lot of ginger in there, but it's very pleasant. So on palate. Plenty of honey from the start, a lot of honey. I'm not going to say Manuka honey or heather honey or any other particular type of honey, it's just honey, you know. Sea salt, which is surprising. Gets kind of savoury towards the finish as well. I think cake frosting, not icing but frosting in particular. Victoria sponge cake, lemon, maybe even a lemon drizzle cake if you're going down that road. There's quite a lot of, it's becoming a lot sort of like more citrusy Now we're getting a bit of orange zest, and again, you know, touching on what I said before, the lemon as well. Okay. Finish, which is still going. Long. It's long. Again, you've got kind of like the honey and gingery note, which I'm really surprised keeps cropping up, because it's quite rare for me to pick out notes that come through from start to finish. But like I mentioned before, it also sort of turns a little bit savoury, so I think like honey roasted ham, which you'd normally associate with maybe a peated smoky whiskey. Almost like lowlander in character in a way. It's getting a little bit grassy, and again quite floral as well, which I quite enjoy. So it really, you know, it really is a dram of two halves, with and without water. But I think, you know, to be fair to Glenlivet, they're onto a winner with this series. I know they've done recently a no age statement. Glenlivet Nadurra Oloroso, which is great. It's a really nice whiskey. I just really wish they'd put an age statement on it, to be honest with you. I think if you can do it on this, why can't you do it on that? You know, at least then I know what I'm buying. But such is life. So back onto this. Overall, it's a very, very solid dram. Perfect for sort of coming months that you're going to be getting. You know, like when it's warming up a little bit, you're going to be outside a little bit more, and it is really a very good expression of Glenlivet's core character, I think. For me, I'm going to give this an 87 out of 100, because I actually really like this one. So fair play to them, and fair play to you for watching. Thanks for listening to me ramble once more. I'm Andy. This was Maltbox. See you next time.